Predestination, Sense and Compliance in Life. The Third Testament, Revelations of Jesus Christ, Chapter 45. Providence and the determination of God in human destiny. Thus saith the Lord. It is the era of the light in which man, besides believing, shall come to understand, reason out, and feel my truth. The purpose of my doctrine is to make all accept that no one has come to this world without a justifiable reason, that the reason is the divine love, and that the destiny of all beings is to fulfill a mission of love. From the beginning and in all times, men have asked, who am I? To whom do I owe my life? Why do I exist? What did I come for, and where am I going? Part of the answer to their doubts and lack of knowledge they have found in my explanations and through reflection about what I have revealed to you from time to time. But there are those who believe they know it all, and I tell you that they are gravely mistaken, for it is not possible for men to discover that which is contained in the arcane of God, unless it is revealed to them, and there is much in that arcane that you do not yet know, for its contents are infinite. Destiny has the compassion which God put in it. The destiny of men is filled with the divine goodness. Many times you cannot find that goodness, for you do not know how to seek it. If within the destiny marked by me for each spirit, you devise a difficult and bitter course, I try to soften it, but never to increase its bitterness. In the world, men need one another. No one is extra and no one is missing. All lives are necessary, one to each other, for the complement and harmony of their existence. The poor need from the rich, and the rich from the poor. The sinful need from the righteous, and these from the former. The ignorant need from the wise, and those who have knowledge from the ignorant. The little ones need from the adults, and these in turn need from the children. In this world, each one of you is situated by the wisdom of God in his place, and near whom he should be. To each man is assigned a circle where he should dwell, in which there are incarnated and discarnated spirits with whom he must coexist. Thus, each in his way, all of you are encountering those who will teach you the love which will elevate you. At other times, you will receive sorrow which will purify you. Some will cause you to suffer because you need it to be so, while others give you their love to compensate for your bitterness. But all have a message for you, a teaching which you should understand and profit from. Do not forget that every incarnated or discarnated spirit who crosses your path in some way comes to help you in your destiny. How many spirits of light I have sent to the world, and you have not even stopped to bless my love for you. Many brothers that I have sent to you, you have not taken advantage of, unaware that they formed part of your destiny. But since you were unable to receive them, you were left with empty hands, and later you had to weep. O humanity, your destiny is to harmonize with everything created. This harmony of which I speak is the greatest of all the laws, for in it you will find the perfect communion with God and His works. Whoever denies his destiny is rejecting the title of child of my divinity. If he does not believe in my existence, he cannot have faith in my love. If for some this life has been excessively bitter and painful, know that this existence is not the only one, that it is long only in appearance, and that in the destiny of each creature there is an arcane that only I can penetrate. The existence of man on earth is only an instant in eternity, a breath of life which animates the human being for a time, and later it separates in order to return and animate a new body. It has been destined what will be granted to each and every one throughout his journey. While some are receiving and taking advantage at the proper time, others squander what they have received, and there are some who have not even been able to prepare themselves to receive it, and when they have returned to the spiritual mansion, they found out all that was theirs, but were unable to receive nor be worthy of it. None have been born by chance. No one has been created by accident. Understand me and recognize that no one is free on the road of life. There is a law that rules and directs all destinies. Man believes to be doing his will. He believes to be free from all influence superior to him, and he even believes himself to be absolute and forger of his own destiny, without perceiving that the moment shall come when everyone will realize that it was my will that was done in them. Work for a good reward for yourself, cultivating a good fruit for your brethren. Prepare yourselves for the future times, because before my departure there will still be a division amongst you, because temptation will touch everyone. It is necessary for you to be watchful. Pray and practice my divine teaching. Truly, I say to you that these short moments that you dedicate to the practice of righteousness will allow its benefits to be felt even in many of the generations after yours. No one has been able, nor will ever lay out his own destiny. That is only for me to decide. Have confidence in my will, and you will cover the journey to the end without greater obstacles. Judge well when I say to you that the leaf of a tree does not move without my will. Thus you will know when I am the one who is testing you, and when you yourselves fill your cup of bitterness in order to blame me later. Then you become judges and regard me as a culprit. Know how to recognize your errors and correct them. Learn to forgive the defects of your brethren, and if you are unable to correct them, at least extend a veil of indulgence upon them. Do not be fatalists, claiming the belief that your destiny is only that which God put in your way, so that if you suffer it is because it is written, and if you have joys, that too is because it is written. I have proven to you that what you sow is what you must reap. But listen carefully, for there will be times when you will gather the harvest immediately, and on other occasions you will have to wait to gather the harvest during a future lifetime. Analyze what I have said, and you will eliminate much of the confusion and misinterpretations about my justice. In the school of life, men are like children who do not think of the consequences of their actions, and that is why they do not understand that a stumbling block they find on the road is only an obstacle left by the master to restrain their senseless racing, or to prevent them from making a bad decision. I wish you to act like adults now. You think about your works, your acts, and your words. That is the way to apply prudence and justice to your lives. You should remember as well that life is an immense and constant trial for the spirit. On my road, none succumb, and although there are times when men are doubled over by the weight of the cross, a higher force raises them up and encourages them. That force comes from faith. The happiness of man, which some believe does not exist on earth, and which others have come to believe I hoard, but which in reality is manifested in the peace of your spirit, depends on the comprehension by men of these teachings, and their obedience to the laws which govern the universe. Now you know, O people, that your happiness is in you yourselves, so that you may show men that in the depths of their being, where they believe they bear only bitterness, hatred, rancor, remorse, and tears, there is a light that none can put out, and it is that of the Spirit. Your spiritual past is unknown to your material form. I have left it imprinted in your spirit, so that it may be like an open book revealed to you by the conscience and intuition. That is my justice, that rather than sentencing you, gives you the opportunity to repair your fault or rectify your error. If the past were erased from your spirit, you would have to pass again through the same trials. Yet, if you hear the voice of your experience and allow yourself to be illuminated by that light, you will see your road as clean and the horizon more brilliant. The meaning and value of human life. Be aware that the natural state of the human being is that of kindness, peace of the spirit, and harmony with all that surrounds you. He who maintains himself in the practice of these virtues throughout his lifetime is following the true path that will lead him toward an understanding of God. But if you deviate from that path, forgetting the law that should guide your actions, you will have to repent with tears the moments that you lived separated from the path of spiritual elevation, which is the natural state in which man should always keep himself. Many men are so accustomed to the world of sin and pain in which you live, that they think that kind of life is the most natural, that the earth is destined to be a vale of tears, and that it can never be the home of peace, harmony, and spiritual progress. Those who think like that are sleeping the slumber of ignorance. He who believes that the world was meant by me to be a vale of tears and atonement is mistaken. The Eden that I offered men can and must return, for all that I have created is life and love. Therefore, those who say the world was destined by God as a torment for men are mistaken. Rather, they should say that it was they themselves who condemned it to a mission of justice, though it had been formed for the delight and enjoyment of the spirits made men. No one was destined for sin, though all was prepared to save men from their faults. Men did not wish to elevate themselves by love, nor to make themselves wise, complying with my law. They forgot, as well, that my justice, from which they have always tried to flee, is what shelters them, for my justice proceeds from perfect love. If you analyze my word, you will understand that the intention of the Father, upon sending you to the world to walk its roads full of ambush and danger, was not to have you get lost in it. For you had been previously prepared, so that on these roads you would find the lessons necessary for the evolution of your spirit, to give you the experience you lacked, and finally, to return you to me full of light. Your spirit, upon being born of me, was like a spark for the winds to blow into flames, so that upon returning to me, you would join your light to that of the divinity. I speak to you from the peak of the new mount, and there I await you. And truly I tell you, the day of your coming shall be a day of celebration in this kingdom. You come cleansing your faults on the road of pain, a road that I did not mark out. That was made by men. You made me walk that road, yet the road of sacrifice and pain has been glorified since that day by my blood. Man will come to understand that neither is his reign of this world, that his body, the human shell, is a mere instrument through whose senses his spirit manifests in this world of trials and restitution. In the end, he will know that this life is only a magnificent lesson, illustrated by marvelous forms and images, so that the disciples, all humanity, can better understand the lessons that life gives them, and with which, if they know how to value them, they will achieve the evolution of the spirit. They will understand the purpose of the struggle that forces them, the pain that polishes them, the labor that ennobles, the knowledge that enlightens, and the love that elevates. If this existence were the only one, truly I tell you, I would long ago have taken the pain from it. For it would be unjust if you had come to this world only to drink from the cup of bitterness. Yet, those who today weep and suffer do so because in the past they luxuriated in excess. But this pain purifies them and makes them worthy of ascending to joy of the purest form in the dwelling places of the Lord. The test contained in life of man is so hard that it is necessary to sweeten it with those spiritual and material pleasures that make it more pleasant and the weight of the cross more bearable. I bless all of those who know to find in the warmth of the home the greatest joys of their existence, seeking in the affection of parents for their children, of children for their parents, and of brothers and sisters, to create a form of worship. For that unity, that harmony, and that peace are similar to the harmony that exists between the universal Father and his spiritual family. In those homes, the light of the Spirit shines, and the peace of my kingdom dwells. And when the sorrows do appear, they are lighter, and the trials less bitter. Even more worthy are those who seek their satisfaction in that of others, and who take joy from the healthy happiness of their fellow men. These are the apostles of joy, and they fulfill a great mission. In truth, I tell you, if you knew how to look for moments of satisfaction and joy and hours of peace, you would have them all the days of your existence. But to have those things, elevate first your spirit, your sentiments, and your way of thinking about life. This message that I send you through my word comes full of light to illuminate your path, and will give your being the elevation that I have shown you, so that you live in peace and take healthy pleasure from all that I have blessed for your existence. This humanity must struggle much to combat the shadows of pain and overcome its inclination for false pleasures and fraudulent satisfactions. It shall have to struggle against the religious fanaticism that prevents it from knowing the truth. It will have to struggle against the fanaticism that makes it think that all marches toward a final destruction from which none can be saved. And it must struggle against the materialism that makes it seek only fleeting pleasures, the joys of the senses that tumble the spirit into an abyss of vice, pain, desperation, and darkness. I give you my light, so that you may emerge from the shadows and come to find on this planet that you have made a veil of tears, the true joys of spirit and heart, beside which all others are small and insignificant.